Hey everybody, how you doing today? Welcome to the video, and today we're gonna fix your aim on mouse and keyboard for Overwatch 2, and I'm gonna give you my competitive settings, what I use just to get the highest FPS in the game possible. So yeah, let's jump into it. A lot of people have been reporting, and myself, that initially when you're playing, it kind of feels like mouse aim floats a bit, or there's some aspect of it that is moving that you're not doing, like almost like there's an extra movement or something. It's not exactly to how it feels in other games, and the reason for that is that there's apparently some settings in the game, controller settings, that apply to your mouse for some reason, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But if you go to your settings under the controls tab, go to controller, click advanced, and then aim smoothing. This is up at 100 by default, but you want to have it down at 0, because apparently the controller aim smoothing setting affects your mouse, which makes no sense, but this is just what it is. So yeah, make sure aim smoothing is turned off, just straight at 0%. Under the gameplay tab, all the way at the bottom, under miscellaneous, you have enable high precision mouse input. This is off by default, and you want that on. Again, I don't know why that would be off in the first place, so yeah, make sure that's on. And then under accessibility at the top, motion, camera shake, make sure you have this on reduced, and HUD shake, have that off. That just helps with a lot of, like, you know, explosions or things where your HUD shaking and it shakes. It makes you feel like your screen's moving more than it should, which knocks off your aim in the process. So yeah, make sure those are off. And once you have those off, you're gonna notice it, like at least I did, you're gonna notice a huge difference in game. As far as your mouse movement's gonna feel snappier, it's gonna feel raw, it's gonna feel like straight precision, and it really does. I can't lie, it feels a lot better with those settings turned off and the high precision turned on. Next, actually, we're gonna jump into FPS. So my FPS settings, I can actually get with these settings that I use. I mean, I play on 240 hertz, but if I were to crank this up to 6 and look at my FPS in the top, I'm like right in between 570 and 600 frames. Like, that's just ridiculous. That's so many frames that this game is giving you, just based off these settings. So let's run back into that real quick. So first thing you want to do, go to the video tab, and in here, your display mode and your target display, obviously you should be in full screen for your highest amount of FPS, and just for your game being most optimized to run well. Target display, this is just whatever monitor you're on. Make sure your resolution is set to your monitor. Your field of view, I have it all the way up because especially if you're playing shooters, you want this all the way up. It allows you to see more people. Aspect ratio is 16:9. That's just the standard like ratio of your monitor. Dynamic render scale I have off. Render scale I have custom is set to 100%. Frame rate, I do set that to 240, but that should be set to whatever your monitor supports. VSync should be off, triple buffering off, reduced buffering off, and video reflex should be enabled plus boost. This actually depends on some people, depending upon what you have. If you have certain graphics cards or certain CPUs. In my case, for what I have, graphics card and CPU, enable plus boost is the best option to give me more performance. Gamma compression, contrast, brightness, all these are just up to you. And HDR and this stuff, my display doesn't support these, so these don't matter to me at all. If they do for you, try them out. I don't think they're needed though. Graphics quality, after you apply these settings, after you've changed, just go to graphics quality. I have it set to low. High quality upsampling is on default. Texture quality is on high. Texture filtering quality is on Epic 16x. Local fog detail low. Dynamic reflections off. Shadow detail high. I always think it's a good idea to have shadows on high, because if you can't see a person but you can see their shadow, it's just a dead giveaway. So I have shadows on whenever I play competitive or FPS shooters. Model detail low, effects detail low, lighting quality low, anti-aliasing quality off, refraction quality low, screenshot quality, this doesn't matter, it's just for screenshots. Ambient occlusion off, local reflections I actually have on, and damage FX, I just have it set to default. Yeah, I don't think these matter all that much, but yeah, I just have them set to default. This, and what damage FX are, is just whenever you do damage, it's just showing like the visual effects that you get. I guess having them set to low would probably reduce them while you're shooting. It might help you see a target better, but you'd have to play with them either or. These haven't having these low or default haven't affected me in any way, shape, or form. And then our details, these are just the ability to see like your frames and stuff like that. So yeah, those are the settings that I use for competitive. All right, and as far as your aim goes, there are actually two things I've noticed about Overwatch, which, you know, you don't need to be a genius to notice them, but I'm just going to point them out for the sake of pointing them out. The two biggest things about aiming in this game is tracking and just high precision mouse stopping, okay? Being able to dial in on an enemy from a quick flick or wherever you're going. That is very important, but specifically tracking, because, you know, enemies have a larger health pool in this game, and if, you know, your weapons at face value can't do one-shot damage, and if they do, it's like an ability you have, or you have to charge it up. But generally, you need to be able to keep your cursor on a moving target like this and track them wherever they're going, because if you can't, you're not going to do well in a first-person shooter game, especially one like Overwatch, where, like I said, the enemies have a large health pool. It takes a lot of shots to take down enemies, so you need to be able to track the enemy with your mouse cursor, just like I'm doing here. And this is tracking, and obviously, like I said, if you track them, you can take down enemy. That is the most important thing about aiming in Overwatch 2, in my opinion, is aim tracking. Now there are courses you can take, like on Aim Labs on Steam. Those are important. A lot of courses on there. I run tracking and just aim courses every day on Aim Labs, so I would highly recommend doing that. And secondary, like I said, high precision mouse stopping. You want to be able to dial in on an enemy, so I can track this one, but I can immediately go to this one, or I can immediately switch to this one, or even back to this one. And it's just the ability to know by muscle memory that distance you have that you need to move your mouse to switch from enemy to enemy, you know, or even go into that enemy in the background. Run courses like that, that'll just help you dial in that parts of your aim, and I promise you, if you do that enough, you're gonna see a pretty big increase in your skill in Overwatch, and in other games as well, but specifically Overwatch. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy, and if you did, please like, subscribe, comment, and let me know if you like the video. And also, if in the future anybody wants a Sojourn guide, I only like, you know, you should have a wide variety of characters you play, but I only play Sojourn. I fucking love Sojourn's character. So yeah, if anyone wants a Sojourn guide, let me know, and I'll gladly make one, because I do feel like I play the character pretty well, and I understand it better than most. Anyway, like I said, hope you all enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.